Welcome to episode 7 of Nick's World. Let's have a little catch up, shall we?
Nick's World. Nick's World.
So in the last video, I was just about to start on SSS Vader, which if you don't know is a video every day for August or April, depending on what time you're doing it. And the idea is to do a video every single day to help you be more comfortable in front of camera and just get your vlogging process going. So I decided to use my time to create videos for you, more to help you be more efficient and be more effective with your content marketing. So it was fun. It was hard work. It was challenging at times. And if you go back and watch some of the series, you'll see that I quite like to batch the videos. I don't want to get up every day and create a video every single day. So I did about 4 or 5 at a time in the end. But I have to say it was proper challenging, way more challenging than I actually thought it was going to be. I thought I'd be able to churn this out in 2 or 3 sessions, when in actual fact we needed to do some tutorials and I was on my own for a bulk of the time. So it was quite difficult to do a video every day. So I guess props to those people that do a video every day, like forever, like the Casey Neistat type stuff. I don't think I could quite manage that. So moving on to High Rise Productions, we're going to try and get this studio refitted. We'll go and have a look at it in a minute. And we're currently recording like on DSLRs with individual kind of SD cards and wired lapel mics. And I want to try and get a full studio fit up with a 3 camera setup and a switcher. So we're going to talk about that in a bit. Kimmy, hello Kimmy, is going to be looking at redesigning the studio. I'll cover some of that when the designs come through. And I'm going to document the process of us building the studio. But one of the things that I want to be producing more often is Nick's World, so you can get a better insight into what's happening here. So I've got some help with that. So one of the things that I really wanted to do on a more regular basis was Nick's World, giving you a behind the scenes story and documenting the process of building High Rise Productions. Finding that quite difficult to do on my own, so I've got a little bit of help in the form of Marta and James.
Hi, Marta.
And James. And so what that should do is help us get a much more regular schedule. So I only have to really think about doing the recording bit, and James and Marta are going to handle the editing process. So let's go downstairs, have a look at the studio, and I'll walk you through the plans, and fingers crossed I get to pull this off. So pretty much this is the studio, and one of the main problems that we've got is audio. We've got a wooden floor that creates quite an echo. There's no soundproofing in here, which we built in the previous studio, a full soundproof recording studio. So we're going to try and refit this studio so that we have a static set, a bit like a mini television studio. And the idea is that obviously we've got to soundproof some of the window space. We're going to decorate the back wall. Don't really want to be doing all the interviews on a green screen because that brings a whole ton of problems on its own. But more than anything else, I want to have a multicam switcher setup. So what we'll do is pretty much have, hopefully, 3 cam setup, so interviewees can sit over this side of the studio. We'll have 3 cams here, so we get the 3 different angles to make the videos a bit more dynamic and have a proper, almost like a mini television studio. But also, we want to have like a multi-purpose space. So whether we want to do vlogging, whether people want to come and use the space. So we're going to redesign it with different little areas. So these little alcoves kind of over here, we're gonna design so that can be a little corner that you can sort of vlog in. There'll likely be a TV on this wall, and it'll all be controlled straight through one switcher, so we don't have to keep messing around with DSLRs and SD cards and wired microphones and things like that. It'll all be wired through to one switcher, which will sit out here. This might not film very well, but the idea is that the switcher will sit here, and that will be controlled by one person that will have a computer and 2 screens, and that'll control all the cameras, and it can automatically record. And that just creates a much more efficient recording process, or a much more efficient studio. So it's quite ambitious to jump from the system that we got now to a brand new kind of full multicam video switcher system, but I think it's really going to be worth it, but it's going to cost some money, so there's quite a bit of investment. Going to have to go into both buying the equipment and refitting the studio, but I think it's going to make us a much more efficient and effective video studio. So most of that is in place. The wheels are in motion at least anyway. So I'll keep you posted on that process of us raising the money to really build this studio into a more professional outfit. And so the next thing is we're applying for something called Get Set for Growth, which I'm going to head over to my friend who runs an accountancy firm, and I'll let him explain what that's all about. So heading over to see James about this Get Set for Growth Fund. But no, the Get Set for Growth Fund is pretty much what it says. It's about funding for small businesses that are ready to grow. So we're going to go and have a conversation with James, who's just set up his new accountancy business, and yeah, see what he's got in store. Are you just doing your hair? Oh, right. So getting back to the Get Set for Growth, James is going to explain a bit more detail about what Get Set for Growth is.
So Get Set for Growth is it's a fully funded program supported by the Regional Growth Fund. So what it's here to do is support businesses who are looking to grow. So so obviously we're here today having a quick chat about the financials going forward, hoping to find you some investment.
Cool. Let's get some money. I like this camera.
You love it.
I do like this camera. It's much easier. So we're just setting the studio up to have a bit of fun really with some video. Might do a little bit of interviewing and a bit of a chat. Mr. Matt Young's coming down. Jim from Blooming Social is coming down. We're just gonna have a bit of a catch up really. See what's going on and have a little chat about the world of social media and business, I reckon. So we're just setting up. Is James doing the cameras? Got a 3-cam setup which we're just going to test out. It's got 3 DSLRs. Going to try and get a 3-camera interview and test it out before we go the whole hog to kind of going for the full switcher and wired setup. So pretty standard really. What they're talking about.
Put that in the screen then.
Yeah, it's easy for about 10 years. So I was like, oh, it looks a bit Facebooky now at the top.
Have you seen some of the Facebook Live video I've done where you're actually screencasting as well on Facebook Live?
No, I've seen you Facebook Live, but I haven't seen
screencast
on the what's it called?
ODS. And that's what it really matters about.
I think you can make any. I think if I really spend some time on Twitter, I can make it work. I just don't love it.
Early days, I adored it.
When people tweet me, I've got to reply to that. Where on Facebook, I'm like, oh yeah, let's have a conversation.
The good thing about Facebook Live is you get a notification. So if you go live, that's great because it tells all of your audience, oh, by the way, they've gone live. So that's really, really
that's
valuable.
phenomenal for you as
exactly.
broadcasting.
My mate went live the other day on his boat going down the River Tamar. And it was quite interesting because it's my friend and he was showing me someone's down the galley cooking some bacon and there's someone up on the top of the deck and it was just getting dark. And it's my friend Dan, I was quite interested in watching it. But if you're doing an outside event, if you were even at a market, and you went live on Facebook Live and said, look, we're at the market today, and it's going to tell people immediately. If you're at an event or if you've got an open day or something like that, that's where it can really, really come into its own.
Yeah, you do it and it's done.
We're talking about live streaming, or no, we're not.
Come on, one takes that.
No, delete. I'm now deleting stats because I got it wrong.
Take two.
Next world. Next world.